Bleepinjeepers, it's Tyler here. The last day of the JP Magazine Dirt and Drive 2017. We're just about to have kind of the closing ceremonies. I am here with two Bleepinjeep fans. These guys came and approached me the first day and asked me about the JCR DIY kit for the Overlander project. This is the Wilder brothers, Jon and Jason, and they've got a pretty sweet XJ set up for overlanding, so we're going to do a walk around on that real quick and have these guys tell us what they've done. They drove this all the way out from Texas, and you guys have been pretty much primitive camping the most time?
As much as we can.
As much as you can?
Yeah, exactly.
So they're legit. All right, so we're going to talk to the brothers and have them take us on a walk around. All right, guys, let's start with suspension tires.
Well, we've got the BFG KO2s, come highly rated, 31-inch tire. Down the road I might take it up to a 33. The suspension is a 3.5 Rubicon kit, complete kit with shocks and springs, rear leaf. And that's...
Did you do extended brake lines too?
I did it, yeah. I went ahead and did the, I think it's a YJ that you can get, a stock front extension. The kit comes with the rear braided line for the pumpkin extension. And what else? I guess underside I did the SYE. It just has a stock front drive shaft in the back. It's cheap, way to go. This is a very cheap build. There was a upcountry package that you can get with these, and so I got the front skid off of that at Junkyard. Actually, all my skids are from a junkyard. A slightly modified WJ transfer case skid plate. Yeah, actually same belt and everything. So we look kind of Twinkie-ish. And then also slightly modified WJ tank, gas tank skid plate.
See, all right, Jon, tell us about this JCR off-road DIY kit bumper.
All right, so we started with just the base DIY bumper kit on the bottom there. Of course, you can tell I've got the tire, high lift mount, and a jerry can mount. The spindle, if I remember correctly, is from, I think it's like A to Z Fabrications or AZ Fabrications or something like that. The whole bumper has to come out just a little bit in order for it to kind of clear your tail light. And I mounted it, I didn't go in like most are. And I mounted it on the outside here, kind of ground down the bottom of it to kind of keep with the line. The back on this kit I didn't feel like it was strong enough, so on the back I have a 2x2, like 1/4 inch thick bar that just basically runs from the mount all the way over to the spindle to add a little bit more strength on that end. Of course, I've got the tie-ins that JCR sells.
Well, we did some reinforcing.
And
So you guys did some customization,
right?
Yeah,
with the kit,
right?
To be able to take the torque that would happen,
take that weight of it.
That's the great thing about this kit is that it's a good foundation for you to start with.
It was easy to work with. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And so it essentially, you just plan it out ahead of time. It's really not as difficult as you might think. And so from here, what I did was I built, sorry, this is held up by a rare earth magnet, so it's kind of hard to pull down. I didn't brace it. A lot of these kits will have like a cable. I didn't like the cable. I'm just going to be an adult and not sit on that. Because it'll just the strength of the hinge and this little bit of an edge that it sits on is plenty for a cooker, or if you're cutting vegetables or something like that. It's plenty strong.
So did you fab this up yourself, or did you draw it out?
I drew it all out. This part was probably the hardest because I wanted to keep the same line as the JCR kit. The nice thing about, and really it wasn't as, it was the most difficult part, but it wasn't too bad because you're basically taking the metal and just kind of setting it up. I had some braces and some clamps so that I could sort of eyeball and get the lines. I just kind of clamped it all on top with a little bit of a spacer in between that bar and then tacked that bar together so I had all my angles correct.
That's how you got your clearance?
Yes, it just had a piece of, I think it was a 1x1.
You should have done a how-to video on it and sent it to Matt.
Yeah, I'm terrible on video. Even right now, I stutter a little bit. The other nice thing about that slight angle, if you want to bring it around, is that it creates its own stop. So it basically comes around and stops on itself. And it won't go any further because you're basically...
It can't.
It can't, yeah. It just fits flush, and then you lock it into place.
Hey, that's nice.
And then
I like that.
everything else here is pretty, you know, you just kind of get your jerry can first.
Without the license plate. Really.
Fab up a brace,
Show the lights,
or a
even
sit.
though it's daytime.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, let's pop this.
So the wiring for the tail or the license plate, I just tapped into the existing wiring that's here. It just fishes up through here, and you can kind of pull it out, extend it out. There's a grommet right behind here, your tail light, that I just kind of poked a hole through and sealed and ran the wiring right along the bottom side. Used just a spindle for the oop, I think you locked it.
Oh, I did?
Yeah. For the tire mount.
So instead of messing with the tail lamp, you actually went through the third brake light and all that with
Right.
the Cherokee factory
Yep.
wiring.
So, and the other thing I wanted was lighting. So I just installed, they're dusty as heck from this drive, but I installed a series of LED lights right here in the hatch. So then we'll switch right here, and that's going to come through on that video because it's so sunny outside.
But
it creates a nice glow right underneath the hatch.
Yeah,
It's a great working
plenty of
surface.
lighting back here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine at night that works pretty good.
Not too terribly bright, perfect amount to be able to see by.
So what? About how much do you think you weigh?
Oh God, enough that normally the rear springs sit on a bit of a rake. You know, they
So
sit
you
high,
do
and I'm now
notice-
sitting a little low.
Okay, so you compensated. You knew you were going to be heavy,
Right,
and
and
you
actually
put
it just worked
heavier
out
springs in.
that way. The kit from Rubicon, it came that way, and so I put it on. At first I was like, well, it doesn't sit level. And then I was like, oh well, I'm going to be loaded down. It's perfect. So yeah, the next step's going to be a drawer system that I want to build back here. I've got again, this is a very budget-friendly build. So this is an RTIC cooler, not a Yeti. And so I'd like to put it on a slide because
Hey, man,
obviously
we're
getting
all
to
poor,
it.
man.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're all on a budget.
That's why we love your show. So yeah, obviously it's difficult to get to because all of our gear is just, you know, packed high. And then, you know, anybody who does any, you know, real camping ends up with your camping kits that you just keep in your garage, and it's all are just set off to the side.
Yeah.
So you just throw it in the back.
The nice thing about this is it shows that you don't have to have all the gear at once
Right.
to go. You don't have to have a fridge slider. You don't have
Right.
to have drawer systems. Throw your bag and your tent and a couple of
That's right.
boxes in there with your gear
That's right.
and hit the trail.
And have fun. I mean,
hit the trail. That stuff can come step after, you know, as you're going,
exactly.
as you improve it.
I mean, if our parents could do it in the back of station wagons.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think total, not including gear, but total spent, including the purchase of the Jeep itself, I've got about $7,000 in it. So that's
Really, including the purchase of the
yeah. The Jeep was only like $2,000, just under $2,000.
So you're a legit Bleepinjeeper.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. It's eventually
Down the
I'll
road,
build some sliders that go underneath there. Yeah, I don't know if I'll go as far as the ones that Matt built on the Scorpion, but I'll put something in
Full
there.
both sides. And all.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't have that before this, but it is a good idea. Actually, the internet is full of advice. So I found somebody recommended this one particular brand inverter that has a remote. And it's a remote that you can mount in your dash, and I found that it fits perfectly in the spot where the ashtray is. So you can pop that ashtray out, and God, I don't know. I mean, I could pull a couple things out if you wanted to get a shot of it, because you just can't see it in there. but since we mounted it underneath the seat, the remote has a push button that turns it on. There's one outlet in a regular wall 110 outlet. There's a USB outlet that's here. But I like the fact that I can just sit here and turn it on and not have to reach under the seat or something like that.
Yeah, because then you don't accidentally leave it on and have a dead battery too.
Right, exactly. Which I probably already left it on.
All right, guys, that's it for this 99 XJ.
Correct.
They survived the Jeep Dirt and Drive, did awesome. This is a really good example of a budget overland build, and to show that you don't need every bell and whistle to be able to get out there and enjoy the trails. These guys survived the D&D
Yeah.
for under 8 grand.
Oh yeah. Closer to 7.
Closer to 7, including the price of the vehicles. There's no excuse. You guys can build something just like this. All right, thanks to John
Thanks, Tyler.
and Jason.
Yeah, thank you.
Glad you guys came on the trip. Glad you guys are fans of the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
And we will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.